Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series, June 18th, 1988. The June 11th show is nowhere to be found on the network, so this is what we have. Terry Taylor and Steve Casey starts our program. Taylor is only part of the promotion for a very little while after this, and we're talking less than maybe 2 months at maximum. Casey listens to Taylor rant about Casey not being good enough to even be in the same ring with him, pretty much. Casey actually jumpstarts the match, which is shocking for a babyface to do. Taylor, who is a extremely cocky heel, does quite well. Snap suplex, gets his adversary over, and slides off the back here. There is no full pin, and Taylor is upset by this, and then we kind of see them go forward. Bronco Luvic could have counted the O'Connor roll pinfall, but did not. Take over with the hip toss, and again. We kind of see things breaking down a little more. Taylor obviously to the outside. Actually, both guys to the outside to kind of regroup. Taylor in the opening match kind of strikes me as an odd positioning. But anyway, Terry Taylor takes a hard shot. And Casey almost taking shots like a heel would. But maybe they're kind of teasing heel versus heel, I don't really know. Clothesline out of the corner by Taylor. Taylor manages to get a 1-2 and a near fall, but Casey sends himself onto the, or drapes his leg over the bottom rope, and then that kind of leads to a decision eventually, because Terry Taylor ends up cutting some corners. Taylor is a guy who, just think about it, a couple months ago, is your Texas champion, so that's a little bit weird, too, to see him in this match, literally months removed from the situation. Obviously, Terry Taylor taking every cheap shot he can possibly get, holds on to the ropes and takes the victory here. And then we move into a Terry Taylor promo. Basically, he calls Kevin Von Erich spoiled. No one is at his level. The women want him. The men are all afraid of him, etc. and so forth. We see 2 highlight videos, one with Kamala, previous times in World Class. Obviously, the music has been edited. And then we see a closer look at Michael Hayes, I assume. Just the playing of Freebird over highlights, that sort of thing. Skandor Akbar out there with Percy Pringle discussing Kamala. Basically, he promises Kamala will get rid of the Von Erichs. Kamala will get rid of Steve Casey. Kamala will get rid of anyone he deems fit. Then we go to a Samoan SWAT team match. In this particular case, this is the Samoan SWAT team versus Bob Bradley and Jeff Rance. Obviously a squash match there. Samoan SWAT team, of course, Samu and Fatu. Both guys are relatively new to being anything terribly major in the sport. They eventually obviously become the Head Shrinkers. First iteration in 92. Press slam by one of the Samoans. Samoans are pretty rough and beating everybody up pretty hardcore during the early stages. They cut the ring off on Jeff Rance and, kind of see the Irish whip. Kind of see some strikes in the corner, and basically the Samoans are schooling their enhancement talent. There is a miscue on an attempted, what I assume is a whip for a clothesline, but it's recovered real quickly. Jeff Rance actually does a back flip for a headbutt, side suplex, and a big splash by one of the Samoans for the victory. Kerry Von Erich talks about Kamala and the Iceman. Talks about not wanting to defend the belt against Iceman anymore, obviously. Also talks about Kamala being dangerous. Glad to have his brother Kevin around. Kerry wants to be the world champion for a long time. That's basically the role here. Then we see Iceman King Parsons versus Ron Ellis. Lots of smaller, shorter matches here. To think we're only about 18 minutes into a 38-minute program and have had this many smaller segments is a pretty big deal. Iceman manages to work the arm a bit. Ron Ellis, a bit of an unknown in the area. And then we kind of see Iceman King Parsons trying to get a victory wherever he can. He's willing to cheat, willing to do whatever's necessary. Doesn't end up doing so. Tackled by Ellis and an attempted crossbody. And it almost looked like Parsons was going to get a body slam out of it, but gets caught with a crossbody instead. Parsons sits down with a side headlock. Gains a bit of an attempted victory there. And then Irish Whip hits the butt, gets the victory. Highlights from Memphis of Jerry Lawler and Kurt Hennig. I believe it's from Memphis, but Lawler winning the AWA championship is where things go here. That's the whole idea as they're building towards the AWA versus World Class and other organizations. Partnership for the pay-per-view Super Clash 3. Anyway, Percy Pringle interviews Roberts and Buddy Roberts and Iceman Parsons. Basically, the inference here is that Parsons has a new family. They are going to completely dominate everything that the Freebirds was, and were. Then we go to Matt Bourne versus Buddy Roberts. Odd placement of the match. We have not seen Bourne in quite a while. Several months here, it just seemed odd. Maybe a match just passing through, looking for an extra booking here and there. Buddy Roberts gets pulled to the outside, and they manage to brawl on the outside for a minute. Bourne sends him back in, gets him tied up in the ropes. It's not a good place to be Buddy Roberts by any stretch of the imagination, and Bourne is pretty dominant for the early stages of the match, striking the referee, begging him actually, to back off. Bourne trying to look as strong as he can. You can see he's a little nervous about his future wrestling prospects with the aggression he shows here. Actually, at one point, Bourne jumps off of the ring apron and manages to go brawling on the floor. Roberts manages to attempt to put something on his wrist or his knuckle, and then Irish Whip Bourne out of the corner and misses the big splash in the corner. Heart punch in with something in the glove of Buddy Roberts. 1, 2, 3. Roberts gets the victory over Bourne. Pretty big deal. Bourne kicks out at 3.5. But it is too late. Victory in Tatum versus Gordy and Sean Simpson will close the program. They've got about 9 minutes. They open with everybody brawling together. Gordy is obviously looking to be the guy who is more dominant. He sends the heels out to the floor with a propensity for brawling. Then Victory and he square off on the floor. Tatum tries to stay in the ring. Victory and Tatum end up going at it Gordy and Tatum end up going at it on the floor, brawling around, all 4 people in the ring. Very chaotic match, very disorganized. We do see a top rope sledgehammer type move from Jack Victory. There is also an attempted double team, and they are successful is Victory and Tatum. Again, when I watch their stuff, they are an underrated tag team. They could have gone further, I think, although the opportunity not as given as they would like. Simpson with the hot shot over the top rope, and then Simpson is cut off. Gordy on the outside for longer than many people think he should be. Does manage to come back in with about 3 minutes left in the program. All four guys in the ring, and then they go round and they're brawling. Chair introduced into the ring. Nothing settled between all four teams, and we close this week on World Class.